Good morning children, I am Saritha from Sree Gokulam School, Vadakara. Now I am going to teach you fertilization and implantation. As you know, these are the two important phases in the human reproduction. Here, fertilization is the process of fusion of male gamete such as sperm with the female gamete such as ovum. And the fusion of two gametes takes place in the fallopian tube. There is a specific space in the fallopian tube, and that is ampullary isthmus junction. Ampullary isthmic junction in the oviduct or fallopian tube is the real place where fertilization or fusion of gametes occur. After coitus or copulation, millions of sperms enter into the vaginal cavity. As you know, after ovulation, the ovum is waiting there in the fallopian tube for fertilization. When these sperms enter into the vaginal cavity, it finds its path to the uterus, then finally into the oviduct. Out of these sperms, only single sperm succeeds in penetrating the ovum. So you can see the ovum, spherical body, inside the oviduct. Numerous sperms are also there. See, first you can see around the ovum a large mass of cells. What is the name of this large mass of cells? Corona radiata. Corona radiata. And inner to the corona radiata, we can see an outer covering which is known as zona pellucida. Zona pellucida. First, with the help of the acrosome, as I told you, the head region consists of an acrosome. Acrosome consists of an enzyme known as a hydrolytic enzyme. With the help of this hydrolytic enzyme, it can penetrate into the zona pellucida. So first the sperm cross the corona radiata, then dissolve the layer of zona pellucida with the help of this hydrolytic enzyme in the acrosome. Then it gets into the plasma membrane of the ovum, then finally into the cytoplasm. Here the meiotic division, the second meiotic division or meiosis II occur. So what is the result of meiosis II? As I told you, after fertilization only the meiosis II occur. So here the result of meiosis II is the process of formation of second polar body and haploid ovum. Is it clear? So after the second meiotic division, the haploid nucleus of sperm fuses with the haploid nucleus of ovum to form zygote. So that is the result of this fertilization. Is it clear? So here inside the ovum, the haploid nucleus of the sperm fuses with the haploid nucleus of the ovum to form diploid zygote. Is it clear? The zygote is diploid. Is it clear about fertilization? And now we can see the video of fertilization. Here, fertilization. Okay, you can see. When semen is deposited within the vagina, the sperms tend to move in all directions. But many find their way up the cervix of the uterus and out into the oviducts and up the tube where they meet the dissenting ovum. 3 days is required for an ovum to travel down the oviducts to the uterus. An oocyte leaves, however, only about 24 hours after its liberation from the follicle. As the sperm and ovum meet, fertilization may take place, and if fertilization occurs in the oviduct. Now we can see the remaining area. Fertilization can only occur if the ovum and sperm are transported simultaneously to the ampullary isthmic junction. The process of fusion of a sperm with an ovum is called fertilization. fertilization, a sperm comes in contact with the zona pellucida layer of the ovum and induces changes in the membrane that block the entry of additional sperms. One sperm can fertilize an ovum. Only one sperm can fertilize the ovum. The secretion of acrosome helps the sperm enter into the cytoplasm of the ovum through the zona pellucida and the plasma membrane. The completion of the meiotic division of the secondary oocyte, the second meiotic division is also unequal and results in the formation of a second polar body and a haploid ovum or oocyte. Soon the haploid nucleus of the sperms and that of the ovum fuse together to form a diploid zygote. Okay. Now you got the idea about fertilization. Here, the acrosome contains hydrolytic enzyme which helps to penetrate the zona pellucida of ovum, and it also blocks the membrane, the entry of other sperms. Only one sperm can enter at a time. Is it clear? Now we can see after fertilization, the diploid zygote is formed. What will happen to that zygote? Let's see. Next we can see the implantation. Here we can see the implantation. So what is actually happening here in implantation process? So implantation, you know, the process of embedding of embryo, developing embryo in the uterine wall is known as implantation. See, in implantation, the zygote undergo repeated mitotic division. Now the zygote is there in the ampullary isthmus junction. Then it undergoes repeated mitotic division. We can see the zygote undergo repeated mitotic division, mitosis. Okay, repeated mitotic division to form daughter cells. First, they form two daughter cells, and these daughter cells are known as blastomeres. Okay, then these blastomeres develop to form several daughter cells. So, several blastomeres are there. So, here the embryo with several blastomere stage is known as blastula. So, here we can see several daughter cells or several blastomeres. So, this is known as blastula. So, clear? Then it undergoes development to form 8 to 16 cell stage. So, 16 cell stage, 8 to 16 cell stage, and that stage is known as morula. Morula. So, this is the morula stage. So, we can say the embryo with 18 to 16 blastomeres are called morula. Is it clear? Then the morula undergo development to form a large mass of cells. Several cells are formed. Okay, a large mass of cells, and that is known as blastocyst. Is it clear? So, here before implantation, the zygote undergo mitotic division. It's a repeated mitotic division to form 2, 4, 8, 16 cells like that. So, the embryo with two blastomere or two daughter cells, it is blastomeres, and the embryo with the several blastomere is known as blastula, and the embryo with 8 to 16 blastomere stage is the morula stage, and the embryo with a large mass of blastomere is the blastocyst stage. At this stage of blastocyst, it moves towards the uterus for further development. And before embedding into the uterine wall or endometrium, this blastocyst undergo development to form a trophoblast as the outer layer. Some of these blastomeres form the outer layer, which is known as trophoblast. And the remaining cells accumulated as a mass of cells, which is known as inner inner cell mass. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, now you can see, so this is the blastomere. So the blastomere undergo development to form blastula, and blastula undergo development to form morula. Morula consists of 8 to 16 blastomeres. Okay, then it undergoes development to form blastocyst. You can see embryo with several blastomeres in the blastocyst. Is it clear? So this is the blastomere, this is the blastula, then morula, then blastocyst. Then before embedding into the uterine wall or endometrium, it attains this stage, and this is the some of the blastomeres act as an outer layer which is known as trophoblast layer, and the remaining cells join to form an inner cell mass. So this inner cell mass gives rise to embryo. Is it clear? And after that, this stage, the embryo, the blastocyst with the trophoblast layer and inner cell mass get embedded in the uterine wall. Then the uterine wall undergo division, then it completely buried inside the endometrium. This blastocyst is completely buried inside the endometrium. Then it undergoes development. Is it clear? So this is implantation, and this implantation occurs after 7 days of fertilization. This implantation leads to pregnancy. I'll show you the video. So is it clear about the stages? Okay, now I'll show you the video. So this is the blastocyst stage. In this stage, it gets embedded in the uterine wall. Okay, so that is the implantation. Now we can see the video. The mitotic division starts as the zygote moves through the isthmus of the oviduct called cleavage towards the uterus and forms 2, 4, 8, 16 daughter cells called the blastomeres. The embryo with 8 to 16 blastomeres is called a morula. The morula continues to divide and transform into blastocyst. It moves further into uterus. The blastomeres in the blastocyst are arranged into an outer layer called trophoblast and an inner group of cells attached to the trophoblast called inner cell mass. The trophoblast layer then gets attached to the endometrium and the inner cell mass gets differentiated as the embryo. After attachment, the uterine cells divides rapidly and covers the blastocyst. As a result, the blastocyst becomes embedded in the endometrium of the uterus. This is called implantation, and it leads to pregnancy. So clear? Now, as I told you, the zygote undergo repeated mitotic division, and that repeated mitotic division of the zygote is called cleavage. So clear? So what is cleavage? What is cleavage? So cleavage is a repeated mitotic division of zygote before implantation. So clear? Now we can see next topic, sex determination. You already learned in 8th standard sex determination, how we can determine the sex of a child. The sex of a child is determined by what they inherit from the father, not from the mother. What the child is inherit from the father determine the sex of that child. And the chromosome, sex chromosome pattern of human beings. The female is XX. So the female gamete consists of only one type of sex chromosome in the gametes or in the ovum. And the sex chromosomal pattern of male is XY. So the male produce or the male gamete consists of two types of sex chromosomes. X chromosomes are there and Y chromosomes are there. So clear? If X chromosome carrying, suppose this is the female and this is the male. The female is the X and male XY. Suppose the X chromosome carrying sperm is fusing with the egg or ovum and that child will have this sex chromosomal pattern. So this sex chromosomal pattern is the characteristic feature of female and that child would be a girl child. So clear? If Y chromosome carrying sperm is fusing with the ovum, what will happen? The child is having the sex chromosomal pattern XY and that XY is the characteristic feature of male. So that child is a boy child. Is it clear? So if the child is inheriting X chromosome from the father, that will be a girl child. If the child is inheriting Y chromosome from the father, that will be a boy child. So we can say the sex of a child is determined by what the child inherits from the father, not from the mother. Is it clear about the sex determination? Hope you understood everything about fertilization, implantation and sex determination. That's all for today. Thank you.